Greetings, everybody. I'm sitting out back and there's a bee flying around. You don't want to see me near bees, so we will just say a little prayer that Mr. Bee stays away. Well, greetings to you all. I think I said that. I wanted to let you know, that bee's, it's on the camera. So now it's just playing with me. I wanted to let you know what dress I wore. You're not going to be surprised. I have a picture of it here. I tried to insert pictures on iMovie from my phone and it doesn't do very well. I wore Simplicity 8332. I loved it. I had real high heel sandals on and I took flip-flops and we danced and laughed until 1:30 in the morning. We had a ball. It was fabulous. I'll tell you, I took 3 dresses down in the car into the hotel because I was that undecided right up until the very last minute. See that bee? Get out of here. Right until the very last minute, and then I just thought, you know, I've got to be comfortable. I love the mocha Vogue slim skirt, but I went with comfort and I went with this dress. I'll try to insert a picture or two. Don't hold your breath. So I wanted to let you know that I am sewing this coat right here. Now it's not done. I've got this beautiful charcoal gray fleece and the pattern is Simplicity 8742. I am working on view B. I wanted to do the longer version, but I don't have enough fabric. So everything was, not everything, I had just started. It was step 1 for the patch pockets. And I didn't know what they were talking about. It was like, I don't understand this. I do not understand this. I kept looking at the pictures. The pocket and the lining are 2 different lengths. And then they end up as the same length in the next picture. Right out of the gate, I'm like, I can't even sew this. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're talking about, and I have to figure it out. I could have just made a patch pocket, we know that, but I had to figure out what they were saying. And then I said, well, I guess I'm gonna have to call Simplicity again tomorrow, because I usually sew at night. I said, I guess I'm gonna have to call Simplicity tomorrow and tell them they're wrong again. Well, my husband looked at it. I always have to have him, come here, look at this. And he didn't understand it at all. Of course, you know, he's looking as a courtesy to me. I don't think he's really going to solve the sewing dilemma, but it helps to just, I don't know. So I sat down with my phone and I started looking at videos and I started looking at blogs and I figured it out. And yes, we are talking about a patch pocket. But I went ahead and made a little video about it in case anyone else is stumped like I was. So I will insert that here for anyone who might, on the outside chance, need it. Okay? That's for the patch pocket. I could not figure out this becoming this because the 2 edges are not equal here, and suddenly in this step they are equal. So you can see that the pocket lining is shorter than the pocket. How do they suddenly come out equal? Well, maybe I can help you. You sew the tops together. This is the lining, this is the pocket. You sew them together and you leave a gap so that you can turn them. But when you go to fold the top of the pocket over, you want to pull the lining down so that it is even with the pocket. And that creates your fold up here. And now they're even at the bottom. What I kept doing was I'd have these uneven lengths, which matched up to the picture, and I would take this and fold it over, and I'd say they're still uneven. What is going on? And I'm telling you, I could not figure it out. So here's the lining. Underneath is the pocket. Right sides together, sew them with a gap so that you can turn them. To fold over, pull your lining down to make it even with the pocket, and that creates your fold at the top. Now you will just sew along the edges, which are even, and then you will turn them through the opening you've left, and this is what you will have. You'll have a little hole there that you need to slip stitch shut. Here's your lining, and here's the outside of your pocket. Okay, we're back. The coat is coming along. I didn't change the serger threads, so you can see them in there. I still have to put on the front facing, and I've decided not to interface it. I just do not want to bother with that. I want to get this coat done because I have a mild case of no-sew. I got nothing. I got nothing. And then I started on this thing and I felt like I don't even want to mess with this. I did figure out the pockets. The pockets are on. They look fine. They are lined inside. And I've got to sew cold weather clothes. It's really windy out here, but it's warm. So let me tell you about what I did yesterday. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Steve. He called me up and he said that good friends of theirs at their cabin house on Chesapeake Bay, their next door neighbors, she died. She was quite elderly and she has left behind her sweet husband, and he was trying to clean out the house a bit and came across all of her sewing things. And Steve said he's really sad to just throw them in the trash. Would you be interested in any of them? So yes, I would be. So we drove to Chesapeake Bay yesterday and we went in and saw, her husband had boxes and boxes of stuff. Now I should say that she did home decorating and she was also a knitter. So there were a lot of these old knitting and craft magazines, tons of these. And I took them not because I'm going to use them, but I think that I will donate them. She had yarn, oh my gosh, just boxes and boxes of yarn. And then she had crochet supplies. And she did have fabric. It was mostly in the vein of home decorating, although I did bring home some vintage Redskins fabric that Colin is totally psyched about. So I'll just show you a couple things. And all of that knitting and crocheting, all of those supplies, I told him to donate, not to put them in the trash, because I feel that someone would love to buy those and have them. So there were several tins like this. I'll just show you one here. Really old. This one is filled with buttons. Old buttons. A lot of them still on the cards. Oh look, there's sewing needles in here. And then there's just, you know, that's a big button. There's extra buttons and extra needles. So that was one little tin. There were a bunch of these. And then I was able to fish out a bunch of thread from these boxes. Looks to be in pretty good shape. Some of it, you can see the old wooden spools, but a lot of it is pretty new. This bag has zippers. This is just a mixture. She had a lot of pins and little hooks and eyes. Check this out. This sheet of hook and eyes was 19 cents. So I mean, vintage, right? Super vintage. She had a really cool seam ripper. I don't know if I can find it. I mean, these are just loaded. Look, I got all these sewing machine needles, more thread in here. I got some cord that I could use. And then I asked her husband, did she have any patterns? And he said, oh yeah, she had patterns. There's a box somewhere around here. So he pulled it out. Well, most of the patterns are very tiny. They're like a size 8, and I can't use them, and I'm not gonna grade them up. And they were mostly, they weren't super vintage. They were mostly like from the 80s, which is a fashion era I'm not real keen to get back to. So I'm gonna donate a huge stack of patterns, but I did keep some to show you because they're just entertaining. Here is a Butterick man's, oh, I guess it's unisex shirt in a size 44. That might fit my husband. This is a Simplicity, oh gosh, is the year on here? I think this might be mid-90s, and I thought, well, heck, I could make a t-shirt and maybe that little dress out of that. Here we're going back to some vintage men's shirts, and they're very musty. This is beautiful. This is a Vogue evening dress, and that is a size 16 bust 36. It's got this little blouse in there that buttons up the back, and I think that I would love to make that. I don't really have any use for a full evening dress with stole, but that was really pretty. There were 2 designer Vogues. We have a Jean Muir, and this is a size 12. I got out the instructions for this, and boy, it looks involved. That waist part, very involved. There were no tags in these Vogue patterns. This one was supposed to come with one, and of course the couturier always came with a tag, but I didn't find any tags. This one's a little more recent. It's a Vogue Perry Ellis. A lot of pieces in here. This is a size 8. It's so little. I mean, 8 is tiny. So I don't think that I could use this. But that was fun to find. And the last one was this great big stretch and sew fitted t-shirt and bodysuit. Stretch and sew 313. My camera's gonna blow over. I think I better hold my camera. That's gonna be all from me today. I mentioned that I have a mild case of no sew, no desire, no excitement, no enthusiasm. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and read my comments from you on my last video where you told me that I can wear anything I want, that you like my style and that you like the patterns I pick, and you wrote such beautiful, wonderful things to me. And I'm gonna read them again because that's gonna get me going. I'm gonna have things to show you. Now, when I got home today from running around on my front step, oh yeah, a big box from Mood and a big box from Fabric Mart. So yes, I've been buying. I was gonna say I've been bad, and then it's like, oh, that's so silly. I'm not gonna say I've been bad. I've just been buying fabric because I love to sew. And so do you. I hope it's going well. Thank you again for being my wonderful viewers, and you just, you know, you write such great things to me. I just want you to know that it means a lot. All right, I'm gonna quit blabbering, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.